The war zone was silent, but it was not peaceful. Broken ships floated through space like dead giants. Burned stations drifted without power. Entire fleets had vanished here, leaving only metal and ash behind. Every species in the galaxy knew this place. It was where wars went to die. The enemy controlled everything. Their massive armada surrounded the star system. Thousands of ships moved in perfect formation. Their commanders were calm, confident. They had already won. Humanity was late. Alien sensors searched the empty space again and again. No human fleet appeared. The enemy commanders laughed. Humans were brave, yes, but bravery did not stop plasma cannons. Humanity will not come, one commander said. They are too weak, too slow. Across the battlefield, human colonies burned. Civilian ships were destroyed without mercy. Emergency signals echoed into the void, unanswered. Then something changed. Long-range sensors detected a disturbance at the edge of the system. It was small at first, a shadow in space. Then another, and another. The enemy fleet paused. Readings spiked beyond normal limits. Energy levels rose fast. Too fast. That's not possible, an alien officer whispered. No fleet can carry that much power. The war zone grew darker. Stars dimmed as if space itself was holding its breath. The enemy tried to skin deeper, but their systems began to fail. Then the signal arrived. Not a threat, not a warning. Just a simple identification code. Humanity. Moments later, space tore open. Massive ships emerged from the void, silent, black, and endless. They did not fire. They did not speak. They simply arrived. And in that moment, the enemy understood something far too late. The war zone had not been killing fleets. It had been waiting. The human fleet did not rush forward. That alone confused the enemy. The massive ships held position at the edge of the war zone, silent and unmoving. Their dark hulls reflected no light. No flags. No open channels. Just cold presence. Alien commanders demanded scans. Results came back incomplete. Weapons unreadable. Armor unknown. Engine power far beyond expected limits. This does not match human technology, one officer said. They should not have this. The lead alien commander felt something new. Not fear, but doubt. Humanity had fought before. The galaxy remembered their courage, their losses, their retreat. Humans were stubborn survivors, nothing more. Or so everyone believed. Inside the human flagship, the command deck was calm. No shouting, no panic. Officers stood at their stations, waiting. Every ship was linked, every system ready. Humanity had learned long ago. They learned when their colonies burned. They learned when treaties failed. They learned when mercy was taken as weakness. This fleet was not built to defend. It was built to end wars. The enemy fleet moved first. Thousands of alien ships shifted into attack formation. Cannons charged. Missiles armed. The war zone lit up with hostile energy. Still, the human fleet did not fire. Then a single human ship moved forward. Just one. It was smaller than the rest, but its engines bent space around it. Alien sensors screamed warnings. Power readings climbed beyond safe limits. Target that ship, the enemy commander ordered. Weapons fired. The shots never reached their target. They vanished mid-flight, swallowed by invisible force. Silence returned. The human ship stopped, perfectly still. A calm human voice finally echoed across all channels. This war is over. The enemy laughed. They should not have, because across the human fleet, weapons began to charge, quietly, precisely, and all at once. And the galaxy was about to witness what humanity truly meant by strength. The enemy fleet fired first. Thousands of beams and missiles rushed toward the human ships, filling the war zone with light and noise. Space burned. Explosions shook the stars. But when the smoke cleared, the human fleet was still there. Not a single ship was damaged. Alien commanders stared at their screens in silence. Their strongest weapons had done nothing. Human shields did not glow or flicker. They simply absorbed everything. Then the human fleet responded. There was no warning, no countdown. One moment, space was calm. The next, it broke. Thin lines of light crossed the battlefield. They moved faster than sensors could track. Where they passed, enemy ships vanished, cleanly, completely. No debris, no survivors. Entire formations disappeared in seconds. "This is impossible," an alien officer shouted. Human weapons ignored armor, ignored shields, ignored distance. Command ships were erased before they could issue new orders. The enemy tried to retreat. Jump drives failed. Space around the human fleet was locked. No escape routes. No safe zones. The war zone had become a cage. Panic spread. Orders overlapped. Signals jammed. Fear replaced discipline. One alien commander whispered, "This is not a battle." He was right. It was an execution. Human ships moved forward slowly, methodically. Every strike was precise. No wasted shots. No hesitation. The fleet worked like a single mind. In less than 1 minute, the enemy lost more ships than they had lost in the entire war. Silence returned once more. Where thousands of enemy vessels had been, only empty space remained. Across the battlefield, surviving alien ships powered down their weapons. Some sent surrender signals. Others simply drifted, waiting for the end. Inside the human command ship, no one celebrated. This was not revenge. This was resolution. The war had not ended yet. But everyone in the galaxy now understood one truth. Humanity had entered the war zone, and the war would never be the same again. The battlefield was quiet now, not because the war was over, but because the enemy no longer knew what to do. Surviving alien ships floated in scattered groups. Weapons were offline. Engines were idle. Fear had replaced strategy. For the first time in the war, the enemy was thinking instead of attacking. They opened communication channels. One by one, alien leaders appeared on the screens. Their voices were tense, controlled, afraid. "Humanity," one commander said, "why now? Why bring this fleet after so much loss?" The question echoed across the human command deck. A human officer stepped forward. Calm, steady. "Because you did not stop," he replied. "You attacked our colonies. You ignored our warnings. You killed our people." The alien commander tried again. "This level of force is unnecessary. The war can still end peacefully." The human paused. "This is peace," he said. Across the war zone, human ships adjusted position. Not aggressively, not threateningly, just enough to remind everyone of their power. Humanity had waited years. They had studied enemy tactics, learned alien weapons, improved their own technology in silence. While others expanded empires, humans prepared for survival and for justice. "We did not come to conquer," the human officer continued. "We came to make sure this never happens again." The enemy leaders shared glances. Some lowered their heads. Others clenched their jaws in anger. They finally understood. Humanity was not fighting for territory. Humanity was fighting for an ending. One alien whispered, barely audible, "What happens if we refuse?" The human answer was immediate. "Then this war ends without you." Silence followed. Slowly, surrender code began to transmit. Fleet by fleet, ship by ship, the enemy chose survival over pride. But deep in space, far from the main battle, a final enemy signal activated. A hidden command node prepared its last move, and humanity had not yet noticed. The hidden signal did not go unnoticed for long. A sudden spike appeared on human sensors. Deep space, far beyond the main battlefield. Power levels rose fast. Too fast. A last enemy command node had activated its final weapon. Inside the human flagship, alerts flashed red. "A super weapon," an officer said. "It's targeting multiple star systems." The enemy had chosen destruction over surrender. There was no panic among the humans. The fleet commander gave a single order: "End it." Several human ships broke formation and jumped forward. Space twisted around them. They appeared near the hidden command node in seconds. The enemy structure was massive, heavily armored, protected by layers of shields. It had been designed to survive anything except humanity. Human ships did not surround it. They did not bombard it. One ship moved closer and stopped. A new weapon activated. There was no flash, no explosion. The command node simply stopped existing. Its shields collapsed. Its core vanished. Space folded inward, then settled as if nothing had ever been there. Across the galaxy, enemy systems went dark. Weapons shut down. Fleets lost coordination. The war ended in an instant. Silence spread faster than fear. News traveled across star systems. Governments froze. Military councils went quiet. Everyone asked the same question. How did humanity do this? Back in the war zone, surviving enemy ships transmitted full surrender. No conditions. No demands. The war was over before most of the galaxy even knew humanity had arrived. Human ships returned to formation. No victory songs played. No celebration followed. This was not a triumph. It was a conclusion. The human fleet sent a single broadcast across known space. The war has ended, the message said. Hostilities are terminated. Any further aggression will be answered. The galaxy listened, because now they understood something very clearly. When humanity arrives, wars do not continue. They end. The war zone slowly returned to normal space. Wreckage drifted where enemy fleets once ruled. Silent stars watched as a human battle fleet remained in position, calm and controlled. The war was over, but its meaning was just beginning to spread. Across the galaxy, leaders gathered in emergency councils. Some were afraid. Some were angry. Most were confused. Humanity had not conquered a single world. They had not claimed territory. They had not demanded tribute. They had simply stopped the war. A final message echoed across every major communication network. It was not loud. It was not threatening. It was clear. A human representative appeared on screens, steady, unarmed, and calm. We do not seek control of the galaxy, the message said. We seek safety for our people. We seek an end to wars that erase worlds. The message continued. Humanity learned a hard lesson. Peace without strength does not last. Strength without restraint destroys everything. Human fleets around the war zone began to withdraw. One by one, massive ships vanished in controlled jumps, leaving behind silence and order. The galaxy watched closely. This was not a retreat. It was a promise kept. In the months that followed, borders stabilized. Old enemies reconsidered old plans. Treaties were signed faster than ever before, not because humanity forced them, but because everyone now knew the cost of ignoring humanity. In quiet moments, alien historians would later write about this day. They would not call it the greatest battle. They would not call it a conquest. They would call it the moment the galaxy learned to listen. Because when humanity entered the war zone, they did not just end a war. They changed how wars were fought forever. And somewhere deep in human space, the fleet waited, not for glory, not for power, but for the day peace might fail again. And if it did, humanity would be ready.